Hi guys, it's me Ed again. We're down cellar today, and it's a little chilly out there. It's about I had about 12 below zero this morning, so I'm not really feeling going out working in the garage. So I thought I'd come down cellar where it's a little warmer. Got the big heater running here, and been doing a little work on the XR75. So thought I'd give you a quick show you what's going on with that process. Here's the frame hanging. Here's the big heater I was talking about. I picked this up actually out of a buddy of mine's barn. They were going to throw it out, and I brought her home and plugged it on an old propane tank, and it works pretty good. But I'm just using it to kind of add a little heat to the frame to kind of warm it up a little bit. But I know you guys are probably getting reflection in the back. I apologize for that. Let me see if I can get a little better shot for you. There's not a lot of room down here. I got a lot of junk. Try to keep my belly out of it. So there you go. That looks a little better. So that's the frame. I sanded it down and just gave it a Rust-Oleum 2X paint job. I really like that 2X paint. You guys ever use that stuff here? Actually, is that 2X? No, that's metallic. What did I do with the can? I always hate it when you lose your mind. I haven't got much of a mind to lose, but I definitely lost it. As you can see in the background, I got my kids' Lego first Lego League robotics table set up there. We've got a competition here next week, so. And I don't know how we're going to do it. It's our first try, but that's a whole nother topic. Anyway, yeah, so this is the frame. And, oh yeah, there's that paint can over there. So that was the furnace kicking on down cellar here. So here's the stuff I use. Gloss Black 2X paint and primer all in one. Goes on really thick, which is kind of good because it doesn't really run that much. Here's the foot pegs. I got them cleaned up and painted black. And then over there, I got things hanging all over the place, is the swing arm. So that's kind of hanging off the edge of the table drying. So it's a lot of fun sitting here watching paint dry. So I thought I'd make a video. I thought you guys would love to watch paint dry. Maybe we'll just sit here silent for a while. Yeah, let me hold the camera really still. There we go. Yeah, that's fun, isn't it? Come on, guys. You know you love that stuff. You know, watching paint dry. It's got to be fun. Oh yeah, there's the tank. Ouch. I got hung up on something. Table saw, I think. But anyway, there's the tank. It has not been buffed out or you know, wet sanded and buffed out yet. So it's still pretty good though. I had a few runs and I think I got most of them, but it ended up being a little splotchy. See that little splotchy spot right there where the but I had a couple runs, so I'm pretty happy that it didn't run worse than it already did. So see right down in there, there's a couple splotchy splotches, but the sticker goes on there. So it should be right there. See them? Point out all my imperfections to you guys. You should love it. But that may sand out a little bit. We'll see how that works. If I can wet sand some of that out. And if it doesn't, I'm good with the way it is. Yeah, I'm happy with it. It is what it is. It's not the correct color. I use it's supposed to be they call it a gray rubber, Honda gray rubber. Well, I couldn't find that, so I'm using, what is this stuff? Here it is. You guys see that? Metallic charcoal and Rust-Oleum metallic. It's pretty close, you know. You put a coat of, you know, sandable primer on it, and then right before you kind of let it set up, I put on about 3 coats of clear enamel on top of that. That gives you something to wet sand out. Otherwise, the metallic kind of does funky things when you try to sand it. Again, Lego parts. But yeah, so that's where we're at with that. And I thought the frame turned out pretty decent. A little dirty there still, where I didn't get the sandpaper in there as good as I probably should have. But it's going to be covered up with the seat anyway. Who's going to know? It's not a concourse restoration. I was trying to see if I could find the number on it. It's part of the number, I think, is still... You guys see anything up in there? Yeah, I think the paint... Yeah, right there is a tip of the number. I know you guys probably can't see it. Right there. Let me back up a little. Getting reflection. But anyway, there's the part of the number there. I may end up sanding some of that paint off, just so if anybody ever really asked what the bike is, if it is, 74, and that's what the number comes up for, is a 1974. The bike I had when I was a kid was a 75. At least that's what I was told. I mean, I never looked the number up. I mean, I was a kid. Who cares? It ran, and you could beat on it. So that was the big thing. But this one here, these 74s are pretty hard to come by. I think, if I'm right, and you guys can correct me if I'm wrong, I believe they started in 73 with the XR75, and they had a little different gas tank. The gas tank was a little more bubble shaped. See how that's kind of elongated? Well, the 73 had the bubble, a little more rounded tank. And they kept this fuel tank right up through till 79, I think, 78, 79, whenever they did away with XR75s. Actually, I think they put them on the 80s too, because the one I got from Harvey, that bike is a little bit newer. That's like a 76, I think, or 77. And that had this type of tank on it. So, but yeah, we got the tires mounted up for it. I can show you those. Here's the back tire mounted up. I even polished the rim up a little bit. As you guys can see, she's a little shinier. I'm still going to do some polishing in here. I started to polish in here, but I think these were painted. I'm not really sure. Okay, guys, you can see here there's a there's a groove right in there. And I believe there was an O-ring that pops in there to keep the water and the dirt out of the brakes. Well, when you slide this thing in here, it fits fine. It doesn't actually go in. See, like that groove right there? That should go in farther. And I think that's the difference, because these wheels are 74 wheels, and this is off from Harvey's bike. There's the fuel tank off Harvey's bike. These come off one of his bikes, and they're newer, 76s, I believe. So this depth here needs to be cleaned up. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to mount it in the mill and give it a little haircut and shave off about 1/8 of an inch in there. And that should allow it. I may have to take that bushing. It looks like there's a bushing in there. I may have to take that out too. But I might be able to mill it all at once. I'm not really sure. And just take that down a little bit. So, and then that'll fit right in there the way it should, with just a tiny tolerance. Because you want it to be able to spin in here freely. So maybe there wasn't an O-ring. Because if there was an O-ring, it would have rubbed, wouldn't it? I don't know. I really don't know. So, but we're going to have to make those work, because I can't find 74 of these brake hubs parts. They're pretty darn hard to find. So we're going to make those work. Here's the front tire. There's the front tire. As you can see, I give her a good polishing, and I got it all mounted. So I got a good deal on these tires. I don't remember what I paid for them, but man, it wasn't only like, I don't know, 20 bucks or something. It was really cheap. So, Kevin, stuff falling down. Okay, that works. So then The other expensive part of these bikes, if you ever try to tangle with one of these things, is this. The exhaust system. Man, oh man, do they want big bucks for these things. I got this one off one of Harvey's bikes. Guys selling these things. This one right here, they'd sell for probably $100, you know. I mean, they're crazy. But, yeah, this one come off, I think, the Technicolor bike over there. She's smashed up and banged up, but it isn't quite correct. I believe the original one would have had that little tail chopped off. But other than that, that's pretty much what they look like. I'm going to try to flatten it out and see if I can take out some of the dents. And it's goobered down here. It's goobered down here. And see if I can fix that part up. It's pretty smashed in here. I even thought about cutting it apart and trying to use it with this piece. I bought this piece off eBay. I think I give $20 for it, believe it or not. And I was going to try to maybe even morph those two together. Take like this section and cut it where it's, you know, and then smash out the dents and then weld that back onto this section and then create the exhaust that way, because this pipe is kind of mangled here. So then maybe have to cut that pipe off. I don't know. It's a nightmare. So, but yeah, perfect paving. There's another brake drum there. That's off that 78. The frame for that's outside. I brought in all the parts, stripped it down. Handlebars, they're in there. Those are nice handlebars. I got just a slight little twink in them. Not these ones. These are off of Suzuki. My buddy gave me those. But these ones are really nice. And they got the kill switch. Okay, that kill switch is like super expensive. So the old seats in there, the skid plate, all that old stuff to build. I got enough to build probably 2 bikes. But up there on the shelf, up above, upside down, you can see there's another seat up there, and underneath it is a brand new seat foam and seat cover. That when I bought this bike, I give $200 for the bike in boxes, and who knows what you get when you buy boxes. But it did have the new seat cover and the new seat foam, so we'll redo the seat. I bought some other parts for it too. Let me see here. I bought some stuff. I've got new points and condenser, new coil, new fuel petcock. This is all Chinese stuff. I don't know if it's any good. We'll know when we get it on. It was cheap. China carb, just in case it doesn't want to go. We'll throw a China carb on it. And I think I paid $13 for this carb or something stupid like that with free shipping. I mean, who knows? But I got the real carb for it in one of those boxes, and the brake levers, and the tins are up there. I got to get those tins down. And I think there's another piece of exhaust in there too. But I got those tins down, hammer them out. There's a few dings and dents in them. Here it even says here, XR75, Mike Cycle Parts. I wonder if Mike's still in business. I didn't buy it. Somebody else. It probably came off eBay. But you can see there's a little twink in it there. We'll straighten that out. And this one here is the air cleaner side. This one's in a little better shape. Just needs a good sanding. A couple dents in it. Clean it up. They sell the sticker kits for them, so I can get those. What else is in that box? Oh, plastic for the rear fenders. These are like little fender supports that go up underneath, tuck up in there, so your fenders don't get ripped off. Ooh. Oh, that was bad. Oh, yeah, I survived the trip. So, yeah, it was dry anyway. Sort of, kind of, mostly dry. But anyway, yeah, that's what we're working on today. So I'm going to have to put these videos together because my phone shut off and I had to merge them together. But anyway, thanks guys for watching, commenting, and subscribing, and we'll talk to you guys next time. Thanks.